Welcome back, everybody. So we've got a additional recommendation for this report. So we are on item 8. We've got an additional recommendation from Councillor Naylor. We'll just get that up on the screen quickly. So the recommendation is to note the report and the quarterly updates will be added to the Planning and Strategy Committee work schedule. That is moved by Councillor Naylor, seconded by Councillor Bowen. This, as you can imagine, this is a recommendation to allow people to make any comments that they would like to on the Part 1 aspect of the report. I'll hand it over to you, Councillor Naylor, if you'd like to speak to that resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I'm really happy to support this recommendation. I just want to acknowledge the work that's been done by officers in what is an extremely important project and one of very much high priority to this council. I think it's really useful for the project risks to be outlined in this report, and just so that we're really aware of the progress and the potential impacts of any of these risks on progress. In terms of the next steps that have been outlined in the report, under Clause 5, it does talk about providing quarterly updates to the council. However, I think it's appropriate for those quarterly updates to go to this committee in the first instance, so that's why that is included. Just in terms of process, I think I'd like to, we've come a long way in our pursuit to try and make the work of council as transparent as possible to our community. And whilst I acknowledge, as is outlined in this report, the need for the legal advice to be a confidential matter that was held in Part 2, I do think it's important for us to close the loop with this item and to be able to discuss the report and the recommendations in public. So I'm pleased to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr Mayor.
Madam Chair, so we're discussing the report. We can, the Part 1? Okay.
Just Part 1?
Sorry.
No,
it's
the
good.
resolution's broad enough to include that.
Cool. Well, look, thank you, Madam Chair, and I just want to thank the officers and our independent chair, who was here a moment ago, for the report and the update, and other officers as well. This is Council's largest project, and I do think we can't take our eye off the ball. It has to take priority in our work schedule. It's vitally important that we do keep on track. Almost weekly and monthly as we head towards that D-Day date of December. And to the officers and the consenting project team, please ensure that we have the resources and the priority there to ensure that we do meet that deadline, because it is very much the D-Day for us. Appreciate where we've got to. I like where we've got to with some of the land assessment. Also, we are starting that never-ending journey around the adaptive management plan, and I think we'll always be keeping that as a live project. We've just seen, since we started our own journey on this wastewater reconsenting, that technology has really enhanced even in the time we've been involved. So I do think others that go after us will probably be able to pick up the baton and improve the quality of our wastewater and possibly even reuse it in different ways. So I think the adaptive management plan absolutely needs to be kept top of mind as well. So thank the officers. Look forward to regular updates as we count down towards December. Thank you.
Councillor Butt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to commend the officers, and I understand that the delay, whatever the delay has occurred, we have been informed a number of times about this delay due to obvious reasons and genuine reasons. I don't think anybody has tried to hide anything. So I'm quite comfortable with the process and with the report, and I just want to commend the officer, the hard work they have done, and I have full confidence in the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just comment around the report. Firstly, to thank officers, our consultants, and the members of the reference group that are actually on the journey most actively, and would certainly be echoing the comments that have already been made around the absolute priority of this. Sitting on the reference group does give me a bit of insight into the complexity of some of the interactions and relationships that are being managed through that, as well as the complexity and challenge of the tasks that are being managed through that. And I can say there definitely is a huge amount on the go, but also a huge amount to be done. And I appreciate the officers' sharing and commitment to advance this as rapidly as possible, and their full intent to land it by the end of 2022, which is absolutely essential. I'm already seeing a few folks chipping away at us on social media about timing on this, and I think, you know, it is imperative that we do hit that time point. And, you know, it's a bit like Christmas. Well, actually, it is a bit like Christmas, isn't it? And it seems like it's always out there, and then you find you're shopping for gifts on Christmas Eve. And we need to make sure that we are well in advance of that, so that we have a good level of comfort and that we have a very high standard of consent lodged with Horizons that carries us well into the future on this project. Madam Chair.
Are there any other councillors wanting to make a comment? Councillor Naylor, would you like a right of reply? Great. I'll invite you to vote. Great, that has been carried 100%. That concludes the business for planning and strategy today. Nō reira, na mihi nui kia koutou, ina mana, ina reo, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. I'll hand it over to the Mayor to direct the workshop we've got.
Kia ora, thank you, Madam Chair. Councillors, if we could have you back in here, just from a logistical point of view. So those online, if I could have you back at 1 o'clock, just want to have a quick catch up.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, we've got the workshop on the Joint Strategic Planning Committee that was happening